Welcome to Teddy Unscripted, because I talk and ramble enough, I got my own show for it. You always have to work hard to get what you want. I am here with one of my lovely co-producers, Jean, and we wanted to talk about give updates. We're always here anyway. We're good? I'm getting looks. Okay. We wanted to come in and talk about a lot of the news stories for our generation that have been coming in. If you've watched the last few 2020 episodes, you've seen that there's a lot of news stories of the spring breakers that don't want to leave. They're saying, oh, I can stay on the beach. I paid a lot of money for this. The repercussions are going to happen, and now they have started to happen, unfortunately. There was a news story that just came out of I believe he was a spring breaker or a snowbird from Ohio, who was down here, I paid this money, I'm gonna be here on my vacation, and didn't feel sick. Finally went home, whether his vacation was over or what, I'm not sure. And as many young people are asymptomatic but positive of the virus, went home and unfortunately infected his family. His family ended up getting sick, and he did an interview of, I'm sorry I didn't listen, I'm sorry that this happened, trying to get the news out to other people that this can't go on. You can be asymptomatic, infect your family. And I really wanted to bring that forward because I have a lot of respect for him for coming out and saying, I messed up, I was wrong, I hurt people, don't do what I did. And I know that Jean also has very strong feelings on the spring breakers. We both have at least one parent who is very susceptible to the virus.
Correct.
We both live here. Your mom works as a nurse, right?
Yeah, correct.
And it's important for us to talk about this because, unfortunately, as people of our generation, and we know, you're not gonna listen to the people. I didn't listen to my parents for a long time about self-quarantine, go out, wear your mask, and it took my boyfriend telling me, you need to wear your mask, you are going to get your dad sick, for me to say, oh, I gotta wear my mask, I'm gonna get my dad sick. So sometimes it's easier to hear from people your age who, we get it. It stinks. It stinks that I can't go get a pub sub. It stinks that I can't go to Starbucks. It stinks that I can't see my friends. You can't self-quarantine at your friend's house drinking. And you and your mom and your aunt just got tested the other day.
Yes, they definitely did, because basically my aunt and my mom, they love to, self-diagnose.
Like hypochondriacs.
So they just read, I don't know what type of articles that they read, and I'm pretty sure that they're reading it because they usually turn off their TVs, but basically she was just like reading off the symptoms and then testing herself and saying, hey, I need to go to the hospital. And she called my mom, and domino effect, I got called to drop off my mom to her, and both of them went to the testing site. So the results are not in, but on my end, I feel as though my mother is fine. It's just she wanted to be the support for her sister. But I don't know what happened in the car, so.
But now your mom had contact with your aunt, who's getting tested, which is why Jean and I are 6 feet apart.
6 feet, yeah.
Get away from me.
Yeah.
And, but so she had contact with her. So now it could have brought it back to you. Now her even just getting tested could have put her in danger that she wasn't even in the first place.
Correct. I just feel like it's like, everybody should be concerned, but like you reading it off without like actually this pandemic panic. I'm not saying you're not supposed to panic on this. Like, you're supposed to take this as awareness, guys. Wash your hands, be cleanly, self-quarantine, 6 feet apart, social distancing. But like sometimes I feel like the news and articles like really jitter people up to say, I need to get tested. I need to get tested. Like the Hard Rock was backed up for a while. I think they're still backed up with drive-through testing.
Yeah, and it's a good thing to get tested. You want to be responsible and say, I think I might be sick. I need to get tested. But at the same time, you can't just get tested because you want to.
Correct.
It's a weird catch-22. You want to be responsible and get tested even if you're asymptomatic because you don't want to bring it back to people. But if you don't have anything and you go to get tested, you're now in a facility with people who may have something, whether it's the coronavirus or something else. It could just be the flu.
It's like an incubator.
That now you are cross-contaminated. Now your test results are going to come back in 2 weeks. It's going to incubate. All of a sudden you have something now. You have symptoms.
And for the spring breakers, please heed the warning of my man that went to Ohio and now has to apologize.
And now his poor family is sick. Now he actually has to self-quarantine. My best friend just came. She goes to medical school in Georgia. They finally closed her down. She came home, and her family, thank God both of her parents are doctors, have quarantined her in her room. And they've said, you will not go through the house. You will not leave your room. You know, they're doing as much as they can. She's doing what she can, but she had to come home from school. Another friend of mine goes to school in Williamsburg, is now quarantined because her and her family just went up to get her stuff and came back. They are now all in 2-week self-quarantine because you had to be you were in contact with things that other people may have been in contact with. And believe me, it is so hard. I have bad sunburns. That's why I'm wearing a jacket right now. Because I was like, oh, I can't stay in the house. I can't do that. It's not who I am as a person. I've never been able to stay in the house. I tried to go on a hike because you are allowed to go into isolated areas. So my boyfriend and I went to what we thought was a very isolated area to go on a hike. Turns out everyone else had the same idea. We ended up having to put our masks on to go for a walk in nature. We ended up coming through, doing as much as we could, getting sunburned, and we were still around everybody. I mean, there were bikers, there were masses of people walking, everything.
Everybody wants to be outside now.
Do much.
It's kind of like, what is it, this whole quarantine thing, it's kind of like people just saying, I'm not staying in the house, I'm not gonna be, what is it, on AC, especially myself, because I'm like, I just can't stay in the house for that long.
But at some point, I mean, sit in your backyard. If you have to go out, wear a mask. I know it sucks being inside. I'm going stir crazy. What I had started doing, I do archery. I started going to my archery range because it is an isolated area. But it's considered, even though it's in a big park, isolated, I mean, the nearest you can be to someone is like 10 feet, shut down. Because it's still, because there's still people, you're touching the tables. If you have tools out, sometimes we share tools with people, it's still a place where contamination can happen. And you're still outside. If you sneeze and you have the virus, even though it's a lower respiratory infection, you sneeze, it comes out of your lungs, that virus can stay in the air for up to 3 hours.
Trickle,
I mean, just walking through Publix where you think nobody could be, you could have walked through somebody's sneeze. You touch something that someone else may have touched, infected. And wearing gloves doesn't help that much because if you've taken high school science, which many people have, your gloves are like a second skin. So even though you're wearing a glove and you touch something,
you get cross-contaminated.
You touch your face with the glove? Yeah. Why are you wearing a glove? I saw someone do that.
Yeah, personally, I saw someone did that too. It was like,
I see people with gloves and they're eating with their gloves on and they're touching their face and they're like, oh, well, I'm wearing gloves, it's sterile. No, it's just a second skin. Once you touch something with that glove, you gotta take it off and put on a new pair.
Wash your hands. And some people feel as though they have the gloves on all day, which they shouldn't.
Yeah.
They don't need to wash their hands.
No.
Please, guys, find a happy place, wash your hands, be cleansing. I mean, social distance. We are gonna get through this.
And something else that I saw that I didn't realize people didn't know was hand sanitizer is not a replacement for washing your hands. I see a lot of people who they're like, oh, I touched something and there's a sink right here. And they're like, let me hand sanitize. No, hand sanitizer is supposed to only be used if you absolutely cannot get to a sink with soap and water.
Correct.
If you can get to a sink, wash your hands. Even with mild soap is 100 times better than hand sanitizer.
Correct.
And overuse of hand sanitizer, you're gonna kill off all the good germs on your hands. You're gonna dry out your hands faster. And it's running out. I don't know how else to say it. You know what doesn't run out? Soap.
Correct.
We all have so much soap. You can use bar soap, hand soap, whatever soap you want, face soap. As long as it just gets oil off of your hands, that's what the virus is attached to. And I'm not gonna go into a whole science of it because I'm not a chemist. But please, just wash your hands.
Be careful, guys. Like, and honestly, at my store at Home Depot, they are practicing social distancing, and they're only allowing, they're only allowing a certain number of people in the store, and people don't understand that. Like, would you want to be in a warehouse of 100 people or 35 people? Some people want to complain, like, I'm like, we're just trying to help you
And
help us,
yourselves.
help everybody.
People forget that workers, people who work at these places who were once deemed, oh, you don't need a lot of skill for this job, are essentials. I'm really bitter about that. I work at a bar and people are like, you don't need skill for this job. Like, I'm an essential now.
Correct.
But they forget that the workers are people.
Yeah.
Like, we don't want all of you in our place of business because we want to protect ourselves too.
Correct. I feel like some people feel disrespected when I don't like approach them. I'm like,
Yeah. I'll yell to you. I got a loud voice. Hey, what's up?
or I'll direct you correctly, but
Yeah.
right now, 6 feet.
Yeah. Because I stop at all side of the road stores for, I don't know, I have weird impulse control. Some guy was selling honey on the side of the road on my way back from work the other day, and I stopped to get the honey, and I'm standing way outside his tent because someone else was in his little overhang buying honey. And the woman's looking at me like I'm crazy. She's like, you can come in. I was like, no, I'm fine, thank you. You buy your honey and then I'll go in and spray down everything that you touched and were near.
Correct, because I don't know, people feel that they're invincible, Incredible Hulk, is not gonna affect you.
Well, I don't eat dirt, so obviously I'm fine.
Mr. Ohio guy he was harboring it, he didn't have any symptoms,
Yeah.
he was negative on it, but he still gave it to people. Guys, be more cautious.
You have to be cautious. And also, don't believe everything you read on Twitter. I am such a Twitter fiend. I am on Twitter 24/7.
Myself too.
And, sometimes I get really great information. The first information I got from coronavirus came from Brother Nature, who I adore. And he put out a big list of, I'm just going to talk about him because I just want to promote Brother Nature. I think he's an awesome.
Scared. No, he scared me. Look, that list
Yeah, I can read you the list.
When you guys hear it, that list is just like, no.
So there's a lot of people who are trying to give you good information. There's a lot of great doctors, but there's also people giving out bad information, and maybe not purposefully, that they're giving out bad information. They're not doctors, and they're pretending to be, or they're some type of,
guru or something.
I don't know, yeah.
Certified.
Dr. WebMD.
Yes.
Please make sure your information is good. Please make sure you do what you can. I heard a really great quote from a head of a school board, I believe it was, from Twitter. And he said, we will never know if we did too much or overreacted for this virus, but we will know immediately if we don't do enough. And just why risk it? I don't know. I can't say enough about it. Why risk it? Why risk our parents getting sick? Why risk your parents getting sick?
It's because I feel like they're comparing it so much with conversations that I don't try to converse in. People compare it to the flu so much, and then they even put out the numbers of death.
And
the flu.
you know what the flu does to a lot of people?
This is a different whole.
Yeah. Should we probably have this much hype over the flu too? Yeah.
We should.
There's tens of thousands of deaths every year in the US because of the flu. Should we put as much effort into the flu and getting rid of that and getting main vaccines for that as we are for this virus? Yeah.
Yes.
That's something that's wrong. Doesn't mean we're overreacting for this one. No, it just means we should focus on something else that's also killing people.
Correct.
A death is a death, and that stinks, and we should be working to improve it instead of,
Instead of acting invincible.
Yeah.
Incredible Hulk out here.
Just because it affects you or doesn't affect you doesn't mean, if I get the flu, most likely, knock on wood, I'm gonna be okay. My dad gets the flu, God willing, he will be okay, but I can't promise that. And God forbid my dad gets this or your mom gets this, we don't know what's gonna happen. What about your parents? In Italy, people were before thinking, oh, everyone knows someone who has lost their job. But now everyone's saying everyone knows someone who has lost their life to this.
And mayors of Italy are even forcing people that they're supposed to stay inside, but people want to go outside and converse with people. Mayors are actually using strong language, more colorful language than the United States to say, hey, get back inside. What are you doing? What are you doing outside?
Yeah.
We need to contain this virus.
And I get it. I understand that humans are social creatures. One of the worst things you can do for someone is solitary confinement, and we're not asking for that. We're saying that you can video chat your friends and family. You're allowed to be near your dogs and cats. Your hamsters and birds and whatever you have, your snakes, I don't know.
Or pick up or you can go online With you can pick up game consoles, guys.
Oh, the sale of game consoles has skyrocketed.
Yeah, game consoles, and people are online more. So
Yeah.
you can have fun online as well, guys.
I play Overwatch, which is such an, at this point, old video game. Nobody plays Overwatch anymore except for me. I thought I was playing last night. My queues were so short because everyone's back home. Everyone's playing video games again. You're talking to each other on mic because you need some type of communication, which is awesome. Do you know how great it feels to play a video game that you love and actually have people on it again?
Correct.
Elder Scrolls has blown up. People have been about Elder Scrolls in forever. I can't talk.
That's how I felt too. I'm like,
that's how excited I am.
Have these people got back on Call of Duty? I'm like, what? This is a whole new,
yeah.
You can be social that way, guys. You don't have to be face-to-face.
Yeah.
For right now.
And I know it does sound slightly hypocritical as we're saying, don't go to work, stay home, and we're literally at a station. But again, 6 feet apart. We're so far apart from each other.
Yeah, we're always in a different room.
I'm leaning away from him. It's infected. But it's just really important, and it's easier to hear from people your age, I think. I mean, I'm 24, Junior 26.
Yeah.
We're coming to you as other Gen Z millennials. Just please be careful. Please don't go out.
Don't go out.
And there's so many things you can do while you're inside. FaceTime.
Online.
Yeah.
Video chat. Skype.
Is Skype still a thing?
It kind of still is. Skype.
I haven't been on Skype in years.
What's the other one that was like
I don't know. I haven't been on. I remember Omegle, but that was like you didn't go on there to talk to people. You went on there for other reasons.
I mean, I wouldn't say you would do internet dating, guys, so you cut that out.
That's going to be an interesting thing of internet dating. You have to go back to the days of talking to someone for weeks before you get to see them. Months, possibly, depending on how long this takes.
It's a new normal now.
You're going to have to really get to know someone, have to hold a conversation. You're going to have to call people on the phone if you're online dating them. You're really going to get to know the people in your area. That'll be interesting. I don't think I could do that. I'm happy I'm in a relationship.
That would be a new normal, yeah. Like, I wouldn't think, would you think internet dating or like online dating would go?
I think it'll either boom because people are going to be putting more effort into their profiles and actually looking and being updated on it, or it's going to be terrible because we're all terrible texters now. Before, people couldn't talk face to face. Now I will ghost anyone. I am such a bad texting person.
Me too, yeah.
Like, call me on the phone.
I would think I send the text.
Talk to me in person.
I would think I send the text, but I don't.
Yeah.
So sorry.
I'm the worst person responding to. I have texts from 3 weeks ago that I know that I have to respond to, and I will, in 3 seconds, forget that I have to respond to them. So the thought of having to go back on an online dating site and continually now talk to someone again and continually keep an interesting conversation without me just saying, dude, I don't know what you want me to say to that, or I ran out of topics. I can't do that.
I ran out of icebreakers. I can't talk anymore.
Yeah, like I've run out of pickup lines. This is the point where I'd ask you on a date. Let me rain check our date for 3 months in the future. I don't know when I'll have money to take you out now, or I don't know when I'll be allowed out of my house to take you out. I hear Freddie whistling. I'm like, yes, hello, like a canary. But online dating is going to shoot up. I know stock trades because I know the stocks went down. I don't really know a lot about stocks. I know it went down and then it's like starting to go back up. I think.
Just know, what is it? I just know, like, I'm not going to take the outside for granted.
Yeah.
Once this thing lifts, I'm going to take every moment to go outside. Like, I used to be the one that says, oh, it's the beach. You know, only tourists usually go to the beach. I'm gonna take my advantage to, enjoy the beach, enjoy sunset, or enjoy sunrise.
I bet people in New York are all of a sudden really missing Times Square.
Seriously.
I know I'm 100% the person who's like, Times Square, ugh. I hate going to Times Square. There's so many tourists, there's so many people. Right about now, I would give most anything to be able to go to Times Square.
Right now.
With all those people.
You see the craziest things in Times Square, like, man.
But you're right. I think it's a time for reflection. It's a time to realize what we took for granted, what we were polluting into the earth that could be gone. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm thinking like we thought the earth was going to be gone. I thought the earth was going to be gone. I thought nature was going to be gone before this happened, but it's not nature. It's us that are being taken away from it. And now hopefully we appreciate it. I mean, China's finally having blue skies, or at least they were. I haven't heard an update on that. China finally had blue skies. Factories are shutting down. We're actually trying to help each other. There's a lot of celebrities on Twitter. Please don't take advantage of what I'm about to tell you. Please don't. There's a lot of celebrities on Twitter that are going on saying, hey, if you need money for food, if you need money for bills, if you need to support your family and you're not getting paid, you know, put down your Cash App, put down your Venmo. I will try and give you money. There's a lot of good people out doing good things. Hopefully this continues, and hopefully the virus stops, our stocks come back up, and we continue the good wealth of man.
Yeah, and we get like a heart, what is it? It's gonna be a new norm of like more heartful people really thinking about each other instead of like, you know, gimme. And really, hopefully, I just lost my train. It's just like, I just know there's gonna be more compassion coming out of this.
It's fine, lose your train of thought. We're unscripted. Not that we've ever been able to be scripted, but now I have a little more freedom to be like,
it's unscripted, but what is it? Hopefully everybody has a kind heart after this, because, you know, the distancing and people wanting to get, because I do want to hang out with my friends, but I can't. I'm usually either FaceTime or like you can hit me up online.
But a lot of your friends still live in Boston, right? So you get to FaceTime them anyway.
Yes, but most of them, like I usually live here, and people do want to hang out, and I tell them, yo, don't hang out with Joe. He just came back from LA.
That's a good thing. Yeah, police your friends.
No, hang out. But
police
he does
them.
go out. He does go out. I'm like, yo, did you get?
Well, your brother wanted to go out for his birthday, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
He
kind of had like a quarantine party at my cousin's place. Yeah, I had to stay far away from that.
Yeah, you can't quarantine with other people.
He's like, I only turn this age once. You always turn age once.
You're gonna be that whole age for a whole year.
I don't even agree of like people around this time having birthdays, because it doesn't even count. So Dawn's birthday didn't count, Freddie's birthday didn't count.
Yeah.
Until we get over this hump.
We're gonna have a big party afterwards. We'll have a huge worldwide party of everyone's birthday that we missed. But right now, let me tell you, my birthday is during hurricane season. My birthday is in September. I've had hurricanes on my birthday multiple times. I have had my birthday with no power, no one can get to the house. It's like me, my mom, my dad, and my dogs. And guess what? I lived through it, and I still turned that age, and I still had a great year. I don't know, maybe it's just because I live in Florida most of my life, but this is kind of just like a hurricane with power, you know?
Correct.
It's a hurricane with power that you can't get to your friends. This is how it is. The shelves are empty. You can't go anywhere. Everything's shut down. At least we have air conditioning and refrigerators.
Correct.
That's the only difference in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
No, you should.
Last thing I can say, because this is still a really new show for me. It's a very new idea. Yeah, it's very unscripted. It's a new idea that kind of got thrown on us. And now we get to do Slick Speaks next.
Oh yeah, Slick Speaks is coming up next, guys. I don't know what I'm going to be talking about, but it's going to be slick.
We never have any idea what we're talking about. That's what makes the show ridiculous as it is. But thank you guys for watching. Last thing I can say is I can't express enough. Please wash your hands. Please quarantine. Don't listen to our advice, and if you don't want to listen to us, listen to the guy who went through it. Listen to the young man from Ohio who now unfortunately has to have the guilt that he brought it home to his family. And I pray for him and his family, and I pray for all of you to stay safe, stay well, stay quarantined, do what you've always wanted to do, the stuff you never had time to.
Do something new, like hop on a game system. Or
come play Overwatch with me. I love it. There's people playing.
Like, you can contact people without even being. We have technology, guys. Let's use it.
Yes, but have a great day. We are going to do Slick Speaks. We will have the Brooklyn Cafe up soon on the Brooklyn Cafe on Facebook. And come join us. And hopefully we will have another episode of Teddy Unscripted at some point. Bye, guys. Have a good day.